Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Has Eberechi Eze just confirmed his move to Arsenal, and Gyokeres medical has been confirmed. Things are moving on quickly. Absolutely fantastic to see. We're expecting a Mosquera announcement today. Obviously, we've already completed the deals for 4 other players. 3 of them made a debut yesterday against AC Milan, and they were very, very good in that game. Absolutely fantastic. So after the Gyokeres deal, who's going to be finalizing his medical on Friday? We'll talk about that one as confirmed by Fabrizio. We already know that how much we need more attacking efforts and more attacking players in our team. Now, yesterday, obviously, against AC Milan, you could see that we are still using the right side so much. We still need something on the left side. Now, Eberechi Eze is the player that we've been talking about. We've been told that we're going to sell players fast before going for him. Some people have been unsure that you're going to afford Eze. Will Crystal Palace change their minds? Well, according to Graham Bailey, Eberechi Eze has told friends that he's going to join Arsenal this summer. TBR Football understands Arsenal have now held discussions with Crystal Palace and the player about a move. Now, some people could read that first part and be like, yeah, it doesn't matter. But no, remember, like 6 weeks ago, news came out about Gyökeres. There was actually a podcast that came out. Gyökeres, his friend, telling him or asking him, let us know. Are you actually going to join Arsenal, or let us know when you join Arsenal? Text me when you join Arsenal. And then people are like, nah, it doesn't matter. Those are just jokes, in-house jokes and stuff. And the next day, we were told that Gyökeres has already told his friends he's going to be an Arsenal player. And we all took it, and seriously, and that doesn't matter. People can just make it up. No, Gyökeres is actually ending up being an Arsenal fan, Arsenal player. He's already an Arsenal fan, looks like. An Arsenal player 6 weeks later when his friend told him, text me when you become an Arsenal player. So is this the same situation with Eberechi Eze like the Gyokeres one? This is another player who wants to join Arsenal, just like Gyokeres, just like Mosquera. This is a player who used to play for Arsenal's academy and then he didn't make it and then moved on. So he has something to prove. This is a player that Arsenal really need in that position. That will provide competition for Odegaard and Werner in that 10 position. This will be an extra option in the 8 position when we need to attack and you don't really need to have, a Merino or Zubimendi or Nogadol on the pitch. You can push Rice to the 6. He can allow us to rest Declan Rice. He can also play on the left wing, a position that we saw yesterday is not up to par, obviously. Trossard was okay in the second half. Martinelli not so great in the first half. And on top of that, there's been rumors about Martinelli and Trossard, one of them leaving for us to, make money for the rest of our new signings. So Eze would definitely help us in a lot of different positions. Now, we were also told a couple of days ago, I think by Ben Jacobs, that Arsenal are trying to sign one of Eze and Xavi Simons. But for Xavi Simons, is a backup. Arsenal really want Eze first, and he's the one that Arsenal are going to be pushing for after completing the Gyokeres signing. So what a signing that would be, man. Now, the thing that will obviously delay it a little bit, just like the Gyokeres one, is the money. Now, he already has the Premier League experience, so he won't need any time to adapt. He's already in London, so he doesn't really need to travel that much. Unless he joins the rest of the team in Asia. But if it's like after the Asian tour, he'll not need to travel that much. It's just London-based, just like Arsenal. So the thing is money. Crystal Palace have a release clause for Eberechi Eze, which is £68 million. And Arsenal are not really keen on paying that £68 million. There was also another report that said if Arsenal, I think it was Hand of Arsenal, yeah, it was Hand of Arsenal. Hand of Arsenal said 2 days ago, if Arsenal go to Crystal Palace today and pay 68 million, the release clause, Eze will be an Arsenal player tomorrow because Eze wants to make the move and Crystal Palace are happy to, sell him for that release clause. They need that money. They're now going to the Conference League, they need more options and all that. And they're never really scared of selling players, to be honest. They sold Olise last season. They sold Zaha a couple of years before that. So they're not really, that strict in terms of not selling players. And there's obviously been a few changes over in the Crystal Palace team. And now that they've been moved down from the Europa League to the Conference, that makes Eze even more keen on moving. So if Arsenal pay the 68 million today, we will get him. But Arsenal are going to pay the 68 million today. Obviously, we've already spent a lot of money. 50 million plus on Madueke, 50 million plus on Zubimendi, 50 million plus, 60 million plus actually on Gyokeres, and then if you combine the rest, Nogard, Kepa, which am I forgetting? Nogard, Kepa, Mosquera as well. All those, that's a lot of money. That's more than 200 million. But Arsenal probably have enough to spend on Eze. Even if we don't sell players, maybe we can get Eze and then proceed to sell the players. That could be a thing that we have. So the player wanting to join us is very important. That is why we have Gyokeres right now at us, because he really wanted to join us. If Gyokeres was okay with joining any other team, he probably isn't an Arsenal player today. He probably chooses his other options and be like, Arsenal not paying the money, let's move on. Now, for the Eze deal, Arsenal were trying a couple of ways to get Eze. The first one was paying installments. Can we pay you 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, and then 8 million in bonuses and add-ons? That is what Team News and Ticks reported like a month ago, that Crystal Palace would be open to us, paying them in installments, 20 million, 20 million, 20 million, and 8 million in add-ons. And that would make a lot of sense. And as I said that month, 1 month ago, if that is the case, then it is a no-brainer to get Eberechi Eze. My number 10, my number 8 that I wanted was Rodgers at the beginning of the transfer window from Aston Villa, because he looked like he was going to be available. But the moment I had Eze would be available, and that would be the sort of price, Premier League experience, a player who used to play for Arsenal, a Highland boy who wants to move, I'd 100% get him. Now, that was the first option. You pay it in installments. The second option, we were told that Arsenal were trying to offer Crystal Palace, because we've been told that we've already talked to Crystal Palace and the player, according to Graham Bailey here. We're told that the Arsenal board, including new director, they approached Crystal Palace and told them, listen, we can give you money plus a player. The player is Josh Nichols, who played yesterday against AC Milan. Now, would Crystal Palace accept that, being the defender is only 18 years of age? Would they be satisfied with that? Would they want someone more experienced? Would they want someone with more quality? Would they ask for a Fabio Vieira? Would they ask for a Zinchenko? Would they ask for a different defender from Arsenal? Who knows? Would they ask for a Kivio? For me, players like Kivio are not for sale. They're not there to be exchanged at all. It's very, very good. But could Crystal Palace want something more, and then Arsenal pay them like 40 million plus a player? That is the other option that Arsenal are looking to, get done with Crystal Palace. But since they're open to selling, I think discussions will continue. We've had a lot to do the last 3 weeks. That's why we've not really been pushing for the Eze one. I mean, we were trying to finalize Gyokeres, trying to finalize Madueke, trying to get None a new contract. We were trying to finalize the Mosquera, and like Andrea Bata has been really, really busy over the past couple of weeks. So now, after the Gyokeres signing and Mosquera announcement, we have free a free roll now, free will to try and get Eberechi Eze. So that is according to Graham Bailey. And the last line there says Arsenal have now held discussions with Crystal Palace and the player about a move. So discussions have been held. That is great. That is a first step. We've already been told like Eze has already agreed to join Arsenal a month ago. So these are just more discussions, and now we have also contacted Crystal Palace about this. Now, if you go to this one from Fabrizio yesterday, he said Arsenal remain interested in adding an attacking player within the budget. Eberechi Eze is the favorite for that creative position. So looks like this is the player that you're going to be pushing for. Again, we've been linked to Xavi Simons, but don't think that is going to happen, because we're looking at Eze first, as Simons is a backup option kind of. And for the other wingers, that we were linked to, most of them have now kind of moved on and doesn't look likely. Players like Lookman, players like Nico Williams, those ones that we wanted back in June, those ones don't look likely. And the fact that we've also got Madueke, I don't think we'll be pushing that much to get a wing unless an opportunity comes up at the beginning of August or after the season has started. That's when we're going to push. So again, we are hoping Madueke comes in and does well for us as a backup for Saka, and when he plays on the left side, he can help us. But Eze is also another option who can play on the left side, and Arsenal is his favorite for the creative position. Again, if you go back to yesterday's game against AC Milan, we could see there's a problem there. Second half, Odegaard was lively, was creating chances. Zubimendi was creating chances from midfield, Saka from the right side, but all of that, once again, is from the right side. Noneri, right side. Saka, right side. Odegaard, right side. There's nothing really going on the left side. I mean, Rice goes into the box. His work is not to create chances. So him is getting to the box, trying to finish those chances that drop on his side, and then sometimes he comes back in defense. So on that left side, when Zinchenko is playing, he goes into midfield, so there's no one really overlapping. And Martinelli's kind of left by himself there to deal with like two players, and he's not that skillful and stuff going past players, but he will end up putting a few crosses for Gyökeres, obviously. I can't wait for that one, but he definitely needs something new on the left side. I want Martinelli to stay. I was happy Trossard staying as well, but you need something different. That is my thing. You need something different. Despite you having Martinelli who has the pace and can run in behind, and maybe with Martinelli there and Eze there, maybe it makes Martinelli a better player. I've seen such comments. People have been saying, listen, with Gyökeres in the box, and if you sign Eze to help out Martinelli on the left side, all of a sudden Martinelli becomes our best player. When, if Odegaard and Eze can get those through passes to Martinelli in behind, and Martinelli can get those crosses to Gyökeres, all of a sudden we have Martinelli assisting every game. All of a sudden we have Martinelli getting in behind and having chances every single game. Maybe that can make him a better player if he has Eberechi Eze on that side. And Eze, considering sometimes he plays a left winger, different kind of left winger, not the one who's going to run in behind, is going to cut in, cross the ball, shoot the ball. And sometimes when you need to, break down teams, last season and the previous one, when you're trying to break down teams, we have the same lineup, whether we are 2-0 up or whether we are losing 2-0. We usually just have the same team, to be honest. So it's usually Saka, Martinelli, Havertz, Odegaard, Rice. That is the five. There's no really, we don't have that. That is 4 attackers and 1 defensive midfielders playing as an 8. I'm okay with Rice playing as an 8, but you know what I mean. Now, if you have an extra option like Eberechi Eze there, you can have Rice as the 6 for that game if you don't really need Norgard who's been in that much. And then you could have Odegaard on the right side, you could have Eze on the left side, and then in the front 3, you have Gyökeres, you have Saka, and then you have someone like a Trossard on the left side. All of a sudden, even if they double up on Saka and Odegaard on the right side, they're leaving space on the left side for Eze and Trossard or Martinelli. If they try and push to stop Odegaard from making a pass, they're leaving Gyökeres space to run in behind. If Saka goes past his winger, he can cross the ball. Gyökeres is in the box. Eze is waiting for a rebound. Odegaard is waiting for a rebound. Like, it gives him many different options of playing. So that is what we're really keen on. That is what we want to happen. You want to have many options. And creatively yesterday, we saw they still need something on the left side. And, when Odegaard is not on the pitch like that first half, you could tell Odegaard is not on the pitch. So it's someone like Eze there that will give us a lot of different options. So let's see if it is going to go through. I think you have one more update here on Eberechi Eze. This one is from Matlow, who says Arsenal want to advance towards 200 million signing by signing Viktor Gyökeres and may yet bid for Eze. So we might actually end up bidding for Eze. The others, we haven't really. It's not been like 3-4 years ago. Usually for a player transfer, we've made a bid, it's been rejected, second bid rejected. I think we've only really done that with Mosquera. All the others have been the players joining Arsenal, like Subimendi, it's done. Here we go, he's joining us. No bids, no nothing. I guess these days they just prefer talking behind the scenes, just finalizing, and then they agree on a fee and then pay it. Because Subimendi, there's no discussions on, deal has been rejected, then second bid, third bid, like the one for Declan Rice. Same with Gyokeres has just been, for Gyokeres, you haven't really made a bid that has been rejected, really, no. There was talks about Arsenal planning to do something, but we were told, don't even bother, pay this money or else don't come here by the sporting president. So could it be the same with Eze, or might we make a bid and then see what Crystal Palace are going to say? If they reject it, will Bata go back to Arsenal and then come back with the second bid? Let's see. Still time before the Premier League starts. I'm hoping Eze can be there for the Emirates Cup game and the other game against Villarreal. That is what we are hoping for. But it looks like we're going to spend a lot of money to transfer with. And, obviously compared to Man City and Liverpool, they're also spending a lot of money. We need to be there with them. We cannot fall back at all. I still believe you have the best goalkeeper. You have the better defense. Just need to improve on our attack. Now, do we now have the better striker? That is the question. According to reports on Gyökeres, Fabrizio says Viktor Gyökeres is officially a new Arsenal player and his medical is set to start in the next 24 hours. And this will be big for us. We went into this transfer window saying we need a striker, desperately need a striker, but we didn't end up with the plan C or the plan D or anything. Sesko might have been plan A, but for me as a fan, since last year, I wanted Gyökeres ahead of Isaac, and this year I wanted Gyökeres as well as my striker. We've basically gone for the best striker in the market, the one who scored the most goals the last 2 years. That is what we've done. We rarely do that. We usually go for the second or third option, but this time you're actually getting the best option in the market in terms of goals. If you look at his numbers in terms of goals and assists, it's not just a player who's going to score goals, is also going to get you assists on top of that. Now, for me, I've always said as well, if you tell me 50 goal contributions, if you tell me a striker gets you 50 goals and 0 assists, or you prefer the one who's going to get you 45 goals and 5 assists, I'd say I'd like the one who's going to get you 45 goals and 5 assists, because that means even when they're not, scoring the goal, they have the technique, they have the ability to pick out a pass, they have the awareness to look at someone who's in a better position. And Gyökeres is like that, because he always gets double figures in terms of goals as well. He's not just going to shoot the ball all the time. No, he checks his surroundings, and if someone else is in a better position, he's going to make the pass. He's going to, most importantly, the pass is going to reach. So that is fantastic. So that is the kind of striker I'd want at Arsenal, and we are getting that kind of striker. Absolutely fantastic. I'm still over the moon that we are getting Gyökeres at Arsenal, and he's going to cost only 63 million. What a deal. The medical will be done in the next 24 hours according to Fabrizio. So that is the Friday, and we're finally going to have Gyökeres at Arsenal after that. So interesting to see whether he's going to travel to Singapore, or is he going to, move to Hong Kong straight away. So, according to Sky Sports, Viktor Gyökeres is expected in London tomorrow to sort the final contractual details with Arsenal. It is thought the plan is for him to then join the squad in Singapore. So, Seth says that he will be in Singapore. No problem, by the way. If he gets the medical gets done on Friday, he can jump on the plane straight away and join the rest of the team on the Saturday. He won't play on Sunday, but at least he can be there in and around the team to watch the rest of the team. Look at all the chances that are being created on the pitch, and have time to think about, wow, how many goals am I going to score here? I cannot wait for that. So Gyökeres and Mosquera are expected to be, in the stadium on Sunday when we play against Newcastle. That is absolutely exciting. So let's see how it goes. And Eze, could we have Eze as soon as we want? Let's hope so. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the